I am Tamara, and for those of you who are celebrating Easter or are acknowledging and experiencing Passover at this time, we wish you joy for the day, peace, and perhaps festivities with family and friends. The theme for the year 2026 is open at the top, and for the month of April, we have the theme of practice of becoming. The title of our talk today is Living with Presence and Deep Awareness, and it will be given by our wonderful Reverend Charlene. We're so happy that you took some time out of your day to join us. If you have any prayer concerns or celebrations that you would like us to include when we do our prayer, please let us know. Drop them in the chat. And when Reverend Charlene gets to that portion of our service, which we call spiritual mind treatment, it's a form of affirmative prayer, she will make sure that she includes your celebrations and your concerns when she prays and leads us through that. All right, folks, that's what I have to say to kick things off today. Take a deep breath, relax. Perhaps you've been doing a lot of things already today, but now you're here. So just sit back, relax, and enjoy our opening video.
Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly, and so it is.
And so it is. And now we're going to move into the meditation portion of our service for today. So our theme for April is the practice of becoming. And the title of our talk today is Living with Presence and Deep Awareness. So in honor of that, I have selected the Sacred Pause meditation. And this is a breath awareness meditation. So as we begin, as always, just relax. Maybe you're carrying some tension in your shoulders, your neck. Just relax, sink a little deeper into your chair. And breathe. And many of the times when we do our meditation, I guide you through your breath. I'll count. I'll tell you to hold. I'll tell you when to exhale. But for today's meditation, I just want you to breathe. Just breathe naturally. And as you're breathing, notice how there's no worries, there's no concern about, is there going to be enough for my next breath? Is there enough oxygen in this room? You have no worries. You breathe in and out effortlessly, knowing that there's enough. The oxygen is unlimited. You have all that you need. And you can probably see where I'm going with this. You have enough. You are enough. Like the air you breathe, you are unlimited. You have so much life and love that you breathe and share with those around you. And think of the exchange that happens as we're looking at these beautiful trees on the screen. Think of the beautiful exchange that happens between the trees and us. We breathe in oxygen. We exhale. And it's a beautiful, beautiful relationship. Symbiotic, I think, is the term that they use. There's no worries, there's no cares. There's, do I have enough? Never enters our minds. We simply take a breath, knowing that there is enough, knowing that it's unlimited. And as we sit in this sacred pause and continue just to breathe, let's just go into the now, this very moment, this presence, what we call the present, right? Because it is a gift. And notice as you breathe, you can't take a breath for the future. You know you have a lot of things that you're going to be doing this afternoon or later today or this week. So, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to be ready. I got to take some breaths to get all ready and charge up my breath battery for what I have ahead. No, you can't do that. You can only breathe for right now, this precise sliver of time, this moment, this now. And notice as you continue to breathe that you can't go backwards. You can't take a breath for the past and say, oh my gosh, remember that day when I was having a really bad day and I just felt exhausted. I'm going to take a breath so that I can send that air back, that energy back. Can't do it. You just can only breathe and focus on the present. We breathe for now. We breathe for this exact moment. And sometimes when I find myself feeling a little anxious, a little worried about something that I have to do later the day, later this week, or when my mind just starts wandering and starts filling up with worry or anxiety, this is what I do. I go into the now. How am I feeling right now in this present moment? I'm fine. The answer is always, I'm fine. Right now, I'm fine. I'm okay. I have the air that I need to breathe. I have the love of family and friends. have the years of experience that have gotten me through little bumps and challenges of the past. So why should I doubt that I'm loved and safe and protected in my goal that I have to get across? And now I'm fine. And in the now, you are fine and you're blessed and you're surrounded by abundance. And that's the end of our meditation for today. So continue to sit in this relaxed state as you enjoy music by Leah.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Easter. When I was brought up, Easter had a specific meaning, and this song is inspired in part by that meaning and expands into my understanding of the universe now. Roll away the stone. Your prayers are not in vain. You can make a change, I know, if you will roll away the stone. Your dreams are not in vain. You can make a change, I know, if you will roll away the stone that blocks your heart, the stone that tells you not to start, the stone that says you're wasting your time, or says that everything's fine. Roll away the stone. Your work is not in vain. You can make a change, I know, if you will roll away the stone that makes you feel small or helpless when you face it all. The stone that whispers to run, convinced that nothing can be done. Roll away the stone. Your hope is not in vain. You can make a change, I know, if you will roll away. Just roll away the stone. 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 Your love is not in vain. You can make a change, I know, if you will roll away the stone.
Wow, that was so profound. Thank you. Thank you. Where's my applause? I had some applause. I don't know if you heard it. So thank you very much, Leah and Tamara. Your meditation is always on point. So good morning and happy Easter, as they all are saying. And I thought about Easter and I said to myself, you can't not acknowledge Easter just because we know that metaphysically it means things. that it's a pagan ritual, yes, and that it started with other forms of new life and recognizing that spring is here and let us enjoy the new life that is upon us. And it's not mistaken that they took Jesus's crucifixion and they kind of moved it up to the place where, ooh, let's coincide it with the pagan ritual of new beginnings and we'll have like new life and resurrection. And it fits because, of course, it fits. This is what we were here for. This is what we wanted. Because when it was getting darker and darker and becoming winter, we were like, let's light a lot of candles and let's remind ourselves that this is just the dark period and the light will return. And now we're like, ah, the light has returned. Yes, let's roll away the stone that had us thinking that the darkness was forever and let's resurrect. So I would be practicing malpractice if I did not give you the symbols. What do these different celebrations, ritualistic celebrations, which I'm here for it, if we can bring our current mindset into the moment of the ritual, then the ritual is not empty, it's a grounding experience. It becomes empty when you're just doing it absent-mindedly and lighting the candle, saying however many iterations of whatever prayer you were told to do. It's when it becomes mindless, that's when it becomes not so great. But we're talking about reminding ourselves, remembering, which means like redoing the membership that we have on this planet as one of the divine, as one of the members of the divine body. Hello. That's what we're doing when we remember. These rituals are fantastic. And let's talk about that stone real quick. So think about it. Think about the stone as any congealed, hardened, calloused over experience that you think is never going to change. It's like that. It's a family curse when asked, why is it that you guys move twice a year? It's a family curse. We can't find a place to stay. None of us can. That's a stone that needs to be just gone ahead and rolled away. We're talking about neuroplasticity and unlearning those things that we thought were just static truths about ourselves. What if it's not? What if that is a component of beliefs that you've gathered and you've held on to for whatever reason before you were even able to consciously choose? It sort of chose you because of the family you were born into. And now you just take it on without examining it? We say, pull up that weed or pull up that plant. Let's look at it. Is that idea of you choking out all the other positive things you want to experience? And why are we holding on to it? Let it go. Break into song, Tamara. Let it go. Let it go. Tamara is doing a Frozen play at her school, elementary school, or middle school. You know, to me, I'm a mom, so to me, it's all school. She's doing an amazing thing this week. So shout out to Tamara and those kids. But when we talk about let it go, we are saying release the old ways of believing, the old ways of acting. If it's not serving you right now, break into song. Let it go. Now, I know it's not that easy, but we didn't say it was going to be easy because here's the thing. There is this tomb of ingrained patterns that we are experiencing, whether we know it or not. And when we find that we're in some sort of prison of our own making, then we want to emphasize the word of our own making, de-emphasize the word prison, and emphasize of our own making. And what you have is the way out. The way through is how you get it, to get out of that. So you roll it away. What does that mean? You've got to have deep awareness of the present moment. This is why I love Tamara's meditation, because she was saying, well, as you breathe in and out, you're connecting to life itself right now. You can't store up breaths for the future like a squirrel does with nuts. It doesn't work like that. You can't pay back breaths that you forgot to take back when you were anxious about something. No, breath is about the only thing besides your circulation of the actual fluids in your body, that has to happen in every moment, or else you're not considered alive. I grant you that you can hold your breath, and some of us are very good at it, but no one can hold their breath more than 6 minutes without messing up their brain. Your brain needs oxygen. You get oxygen from breathing. It's a beautiful system if you were to look at it. So the idea of trying to store up some breaths for the future or pay back some breaths because you're in arrears, it's insane. And so is your power. The idea that your power can be wielded in the past or in the future is wild to me. You can't. You only have as much power, which means connection to your divine self, the true you. You only have that connection in the present moment. And you have to keep looking back to that, keep reconnecting with that every moment, because you can't, it's like your breath, you can only do it right now. So don't take my word for it. Let me read a passage from Mark Nepo, the book, The Endless Practice, Becoming Who You Were Born to Be. And then I'll address the bunny and the eggs that are clearly not. How did the bunny get those eggs? I just have questions. We'll get there. Walk with me through this reading from Mark Nepo, The Endless Practice. All right, he says, the point of experience is not to escape, but to live it. Each of us carries some wisdom waiting to be discovered at the center of our experience. And everything we meet, if faced and held, reveals a part of that wisdom. We have a language of truth growing in our heart that only living can decode. Truth is a seed hidden in the days until watered by our experience. In Greek, ginosko means to come to know, the recognition of truth by experience. As impatient as we are, he says, this recognition can only happen through time. Like it or not, time slowly exposes the story of our lives, with friction wearing away the film that covers our eyes and the calluses that guard our heart, till we can apprehend the wonder waiting just under the skin of everything. Again, from Mark Nepo, The Endless Practice, Becoming Who You Were Born to Be, and that's page 36. And he goes on throughout the book to talk about many different ways of unfolding the true you. This is the theory of the seed has the oak tree inside of it. The seed, the acorn, has a whole oak tree, all of the instructions on how to be an oak tree inside that little seed or acorn. And the idea that all you really need to be who you really are is to get in the right circumstances and nourish yourself with the right practices so that you could be the best you that you can be. It's not like you need to add anything outside of you. You already have what it takes. Now it has to do with sitting still and knowing that, and then allowing yourself the circumstances to let those come out. So we let that seed flourish. Now here's the problem. Seeds tend to flourish in the wet soil. It's dark in there, absent of light, but sometimes you need that darkness. Now, when it comes to the darkness, we just talked about how we've gone through winter, and winter was kind of long. It was the longest days, longest nights. It was a lot of darkness, and we would look for little points of light to bring us into some hope. And that's what that Easter bunny is all about. So this Easter bunny, the pagan ritual of there's a bunny, there's a rabbit. The rabbit represents creation, multiplication at a prolific rate, because apparently bunnies multiply very quickly. And so that is the nature of our lives. It is abundant. This little bunny represents that. But then where did he get those eggs? I mean, I guess we have to ask the bunny. But the eggs themselves represent possibility. The egg represents fertile ideas, opportunities. It's a whole chicken, perhaps, if it's a fertilized egg. I know there's some science in there that we have to discuss, but if these eggs were fertilized, then the right environment would make that egg into you got it, a little chick, which then becomes a chicken, which then begets more eggs. It's a whole life replenishing itself with more of itself kind of story. And what a perfect time to have that story than now at springtime, where you do have new beginnings, where you do have the ability to change your thinking and then change your life. Now, I know it's a quip that we use here at the at Science of Mind teachings, but if we think about resilience in a challenging environment, like any of us might have had to go through, maybe you're going through one now. Maybe you're finding your resilient nature in an environment that would seek to not have you thrive, whether that's on purpose or just something that you woke up in because systemically you're oppressed. That may be true, but we have to think about how that planting of a seed or the bunny, leaving some eggs, it's an idea of this is not all there is. What you see is not a sum total of all that can be. In fact, what we are learning in science of mind and in neuroplasticity and in any intentional practice is that you see it first internally before it appears into the world. It's the vision of what you would like to have happen that gives you a renewed purpose, which gives you hope in the face of things in front of you that seem impossible, gives you courage because you're also afraid, and it allows you to walk toward that thing because you're being called to a higher vision. That is what's unfolding every single day. And that's pretty powerful. Now, you might also be similar to the lotus plant. On our new website, we have a picture of a lotus plant unfolding. If you go to csleesburg.org, you'll see our new site. And the video, there's a big, tall video on the beginning of the page. It's just a lotus plant blossoming. And the thing about the lotus is that it's planted in mud. It does not grow unless it's in some really fertile mud. But the thing about the lotus is that it doesn't live. Its blossoms are not in the mud, but its root is in the mud. Think about your life. Think about how deep down inside you might have overcome some things that many people might call muddy situations. Or it's a bit dirty, it's a bit ick, right? Maybe even now, if you were to show everybody the underbelly, they'd be like, "Ooh, girl, you okay?" Yeah, I know. But we don't show up like that in life. We don't blossom down in the mud. But guess what we get from that? We sit in it. We sit right in it. And we listen to what is trying to emerge through us. Because if you've been listening to these talks between me and Reverend Melinda and Tamara, we've been talking about things happen, but are they happening to you? Or are they happening for you? If you choose the latter for you, then you're moving out of that victim react state of panic into a spiritual being who's having a human experience. And sometimes they're a little more human than other times. And in this moment, there's a lesson. There's something to sit through and feel through, nothing to run from. Because if we stay rooted right where we are, we might get some nourishment, some lessons, and some growth from that moment that seems icky. And then when we watch that lotus unfold, well, those beautiful flowers have risen above the soil and the dirt and the mud. They've got a bit of an undercoating. It looks like little lily pads, but looks more like a hemp cloth. It's just the way that it's held. And then above that is all of the beautiful flowering that happens. And it's sitting right there in the mud. That is what we're talking about getting to. But if you just go with pop culture and pop culture loves to skim across the surface, You only have 30 seconds or maybe a whole minute to absorb any of these short videos, and then we're on to the next one. The attention these days, it jumps around so much that we're not really being taught to go within and go deep. Well, that's not exciting. Go within and go deep. Yikes. I'm just going to sit there. Will there be anything to do? Is that just me? I'm like, I need to do something. Fine. I actually found meditations from Dr. Joe Dispenza and other teachers and even Tai Chi yoga. There are ways to go deep while also doing something. If you've got a little mind that just needs to latch onto something, okay, here's something. Breath, breathe in, breathe out. Oh, is that boring? Breathe in and imagine that at the coil of your sacrum, your chakra, the one right there, the chakra right where you sit, imagine that's a coiled up amount of energy like a spring, and it's sitting there, and as you breathe in you activate it, and then so the way Dr. Joe Dispenza has us squeeze our core and just pull up that Kundalini energy, pull it straight up and have it come to your third eye and then boop out of your crown chakra. That's something to do. I love it. I'm like, great, because a whole hour goes by as we're working with the different energy centers and feeling and expanding and doing. We have things to help you go deep, because what we don't want to do is just let our lives be totally controlled by what things look like. Like that's the truth. Hello. And then finding out that what they look like is not really what we thought it would feel like. What it looks like and what it feels like, two different things. So then we go to the next thing and, oh, I want what that looks like. No, we're going to be flitting around from flower to flower without really going deep. What we do in this teaching is the practice of mindfulness. And the practice, we have like three that apply to this talk here. There's mindfulness, which is being in the present moment with everything you're doing. There's meditation, which is what I just talked about, breathing deep, going in, and whatever guided meditation that keeps you practicing, that's the right one for you. And there is no right answer for everybody, although breath is typically part of it. And the third one is that spiritual mind treatment, that practice where you are saying, I know I am one with the divine. In fact, there's one thing, the most commonly quoted most commonly quoted mantra in Centers for Spiritual Living is this one. Listen, there is only one life. This life is God. This life is perfect life. This is my life now. That is the thing. When you're doing spiritual mind treatment, you are actually saying the truth about all of reality. There's only one life. What's behind that one life? God, or say the universe, the divine, infinite possibilities. If you don't like the word God, replace as necessary. This life is perfect. Perfect life. Now you're saying, well, the divine is perfect in and of itself, and you cannot leave out that last part because that's where the magic happens. This life is my life right now. Notice that we didn't say this life is my life in 2 weeks. This life is my life because it's part of my 5-year goal. Nope. This life is my life now. That spiritual mind treatment, that it's a lot more involved than that. But if you set the stage with the most commonly used mantra of science of mind, you will be knowing that you are in alignment with the divine. And now your next question is, what can't I have? What would I like to experience? Now, here's where you take it from, here's what it's going to look like, to here's what it's going to feel like. Because if we can vibrate at the feeling of the thing that we want, we might find what I find with myself a lot of the times, when I start focusing on how I want to feel, I realize, oh, I can feel that right now. I don't have to wait for that situation. A lot of times I'll go into prayer, and this is true for all of us. I want a red Corvette. It's a really great example. Great, you want a red Corvette. How are you going to feel when you get the Corvette? Because if you do not ask yourself that question, you might find yourself collecting a lot of toys, but still seeking a feeling that is just evasive. You can't get to, because if you continue the question, what's it going to feel like? And you say, well, I'm going to have wind in my hair. I'm going to feel free because it's a convertible, and then I'm going to be happy because there's music playing and I've got my friends with me, and then the dog is in the car and we're all just happy. You realize, oh, well, is that limited to just that Barbie car, the Corvette that she has? Is it limited to that type of car? No. In fact, I will grant you, you could have that feeling in 2 minutes if you have a car now, or you can order a Lyft and tell them I'm bringing my dog. Can we roll down the window and sing a song? You could have it. If that's what you want to feel, you could have it. And so we start living our life fully now, not waiting for the perfect external circumstances to show up, because that's how they get you. Social media will get you. All you need is a private plane and big eyelashes and, I don't know, a snatched waist. What are we doing? What's really popular right now? Those are the ingredients, and then you'll be happy. Oh, no, 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 no. So when you go into prayer, sure, pray for the private jet, pray, but make sure that you're doing it from a feeling of, I want to feel, and don't just say happy, get into what is happiness. How does it vibrate? Tell me, because the divine, it's already given you that. And you're just trying to get your prayer to move you from what you think is not, you moving you. Prayer moves you from what you think is not happening for you right now to an awareness that, oh, it is happening right now, because there's only one life. I'm living the life of God. That life is perfect. That life's my life right now. Whoa, I didn't even realize that I already had these things. But I'm not saying you won't get what you want. I'm just saying you will get to that feeling faster if you do not limit that feeling to come from a particular channel, whether it's a car or a person or a house or whatever circumstance, that then you'll be begging to get it. God, please take away this thing because it's vexing me. Trust me. When you want the thing, look for the feeling underneath the thing and sit. Sit. It's this endless practice of becoming who you were born to be. That is what we're doing every day, every week, especially during this whole month. This is the practice of becoming, and this is living every day with a deep awareness that you probably already have it if you look around. And if you don't, look around with gratitude, because that gratitude will bring that external experience that you're trying to feel. It'll bring it even that much faster. So yes, happy Easter. Yes, there's a bunny with eggs and possible painting eggs, which I guess creativity. And just know that that truth has been this way for eons. Before the rituals happened, there is the divine. All right, that's all I have to say about that. Let's go within. Let me check the comments. Just know that if you would like extra prayer, we're here. We can do a breakout room and have you in a one-to-one spiritual mind treatment. But here's a spiritual mind treatment for the whole community as we go within. There's one power, one life, one energy, and that is the divine. Whether we call it Mother, Father, God, or the universe, or life itself, or field of possibilities, whatever it is that you think of it as. We know that it goes beyond some white male in the sky who grants and takes away wishes. No, 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 no. The underlying presence, the creator of all that that is what we are. We each are part. We are an emanation. We are that. That life is our life right now. We are unified with it. We couldn't be separate from it if we tried. So if this is true, and it is, then we know that my life is the life of the divine. Therefore, when I speak my word for what it is I want to experience, that is the highest peace and the highest joy that one body can experience. I know that this is already available to me. I speak my word for every member of our community that anything that their heart desires, any rough patches that they're going through, is just more mud for the joy of that flower that is unfolding. I get to hold the heart of this community in prayer every day. I'm so grateful to be imbued with all of the gifts that we share together, all of the joy. We hold space for the sorrow or whatever is happening, because I know that this community, as it is so beautifully growing, that it is exactly what the divine expresses as itself, as us, individually and as a group. So I speak my word into this law that all is unfolding perfectly. And we take each step knowing that the next step will be revealed as long as we move with that faith and that knowing that all is well. So I release my word with gratitude and appreciation and excitement. I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. As I release my word into the law, I just let it go. I let it be, and I know that it is already done. And I say, and so it is. Ashe.
There is a poem by Adrienne Marie Brown where she talks about all that is born of the dark. And I believe that resonates through all that you just shared, Reverend Shar. So this song is based on that poem and your talk. It's called In the Dark. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows what we seed in the darkness. Oh, me, darkness. No one knows what we seed in the darkness. Oh, me, darkness. No one knows darkness. Oh, me, darkness. No one knows what we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. And no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. And how no one knows what we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows. What we seed in the dark grows and grows. How no one knows.
All right. Thank you, Reverend Charlene. What a beautiful, perfect message. Thank you, Leah, too, for such wonderful, inspirational music. All right, folks, now is the time that we bless the donations that you give to CSL Leesburg. And it's because of you that we can do what we do when we bring you the message and the music and the meditations during this service. But also we take what we are given and we practice what we preach. We believe in the law of circulation. So we give back to our home office, and we also tithe on a regular basis each quarter to folks that are sharing our mission of helping to create a world that works for everyone. So as you give, so shall you receive, and we keep that energy flowing. There are so many ways that you can give. Odds are, if you're a regular here at CSL Leesburg, you found one that works for you. If not, take a moment, look at our screen, and we thank you so much for your generosity. There is abundance always. Now, please join me in the blessing of our gifts. The presence of Spirit within me blesses everyone I meet. tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I'm a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. All righty, all righty. Announcements. All right. So moving forward, jumping into the future with both feet, we have your journal prompt for this week's topic. You can hold up your phone, you can use your little QR reader, and you can get that so that you can journal. And it's one way that you can do this. Or if you're like me, I organizing this, putting this together so that I can jot my notes. A little old fashioned. I do the pen and the paper. It's what I like to do. But we have different ways, that you can do this. And one way is that you can get your journal prompt for this week's topic by going to that. All right. What else do we have?
The only other thing I wanted to say was that the workshop is coming.
Yes,
So
yes,
I
yes.
wanted to, I'll stop sharing and I'll add me. So pretty much I want to show you where to go to get the workshop. It's not quite there yet, but go like the end of the day today. So I'll share my screen now. I know, Tamara, you weren't ready for it, but you're very flexible, so I appreciate you.
We do this together
Yes.
always.
So as you can see, the homepage, that's that lotus that I was talking about, that lotus plant. Now, if you go over to grow and then workshops, we're going to be doing this one, not this Saturday and not the following, the third Saturday in April. So that's the one. And you could see here what it's going to be for. It's called Reclaiming Your Power. It's a workshop. It's just going to be 1.5 to 2 hours after on this Saturday. I'll let you know which Saturday. I'll give you a link as the community, and of course I'll update this site. But we're doing one a month, and this one, Reclaiming Your Power. Just if you'll be able to go through and see if there's any other spot when you were growing up, are you giving your power away? We'll go ahead and clear that out so you can experience exactly what it is you see yourself growing into. So thank you, Tamara, for letting me take a moment and talk about that.
I love that. And I love how that really fits in with our theme for the month of
Yes.
April, right? The
Yes.
becoming. How can you become your very best version of yourself if you're giving away your power? So,
Yeah.
third Saturday in April. I already put that on my calendar. I'm
Good.
signing up.
Thank you. All right. And back to you, my dear.
I know others will join me. All right, you might have a lot going on today since it is Easter Sunday. But before we send you off on your way, I want to remind you that you're welcome to hang out with us. We do what we call Pearls, where we share what really resonated with you during the message or the music or the meditation. What questions do you have? What's something that you heard that you want Reverend Charlene to kind of clear up? Could you repeat that line again? Could you repeat that quote? I missed that and I need to hear it again. We hang out. Sometimes we talk about book reviews, movie reviews, what's happening in the world, what's happening in our lives. And it's our virtual coffee hour. So we call it Pearls. Stay if you can. But if you can't, know that we're going to send you off with our love and blessings as soon as we do this closing affirmation. All right, folks, you know what I want to hear. Unmute yourselves because I love, 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 love to hear your voices. So join me in saying, I am love.
I am love.
Nice. Beautiful. I love the chorus that comes back. All right. Think of someone who needs this message. It could be somebody who's in the room with you, somebody who is a family member, a friend, or a furry companion. Or we believe so much since we're all connected. You can send this out to whomever needs to hear this message right now. Let's send it out. You ready? You are love.
You
are
are love.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now put your hands up in the sky. Keep your hands all open up so that you can receive this message. It's all love.
It's all love.
all
It's all
love.
Love. Beautiful. All right, folks. If you're going off, enjoy your day. Thank you for giving us a little bit of your day, sharing it with us. And if you can, please stay. We'd love to chat with you. And that's a wrap for today, April 5th, 2026. Bye.
Hold on. Almost out. Almost.